It is such a beautiful plant. And so, what I really feel is special about that plant is it helps you to heal through the lens of an open heart. It helps you to really connect with yourself and other people in this safe, cared for, heart open space. And it's interesting because people always say that ayahuasca is the grandmother medicine and Wachuma is the grandfather medicine. And I love working with grandfather medicine because I find myself stepping into my feminine in that space because I feel masculine protection in that container. I feel safe. I feel like my heart is allowed to be open. I feel like I am okay to just melt, to just be, to just exist. And I feel that the plant really helps to connect not only to ourselves, but to people around us. We can have beautiful heart opening conversations that last hours. Time doesn't really exist in that space. It tends to feel like it just expands and contracts. And we feel the connection to ourselves and the world. We feel the connection to everything that we're eating. So many people, when they come into ceremony, my cooking is great, but it's not that great. Your cooking is better. But people come into ceremony and they are just like, oh my God, this is the best food I've ever had. This is the best grape. This is the best strawberry. You realize, I feel, with Wachuma, how much we take for granted. Whether you're just watching the ants crawl across the grass or watching the clouds float across the sky, there's a really beautiful element to just how we observe those things differently in that space that allows us to feel more at peace. For myself, what I really noticed that I got out of Wachuma in the beginning was this understanding that I had felt so disconnected from the people around me. I felt like I was alone in my healing process. I was the only person going through this thing. That was it. It was just me. I felt like that very strongly. I believed that. And so I'd allowed that to just make a wall and stop me from connecting with people, stop me from sharing my story. And Wachuma did that for me so gently and so beautifully. Ayahuasca broke down a lot of other barriers that I had and a lot of other resistances that I had around other things. But with Wachuma, it was entirely just about reconnecting to myself and others in a way that felt nourishing, deepening friendships, just allowing my heart to open and just to soak in the juiciness of that moment. There's a lot of times hard things that come up in Wachuma and in medicine space, and it can be very important to work through those with gentleness as well. Sometimes the harder things need to come out. And this is just such a powerful plant. It's actually one of the teacher plants that I think is more underappreciated and not as well known compared to peyote or ayahuasca. But it's my favorite to work with, and it comes from the Andes. It's a mountain cactus, and it's been used in religious rituals for thousands of years to build community. And they would also feed it to Aztec warriors, warriors, so they could go to battle because they were fearless that way. You don't feel temperature sometimes as much with Wachuma. Your body is very grounded, very centered, and even your body feels very protected. Like you feel very balanced. And so they would feed this to Incan warriors before they would go to battle to also help them with intuition and their different, their ability to connect to the battle around all of those things. And so now we're using it a little bit differently, but it still serves a similar purpose.